Hi, good morning everyone. Today's question is, as a process owner, how you will make sure that the agile values are imbibed in your projects. Thanks, have a nice day.
Hello, I'm Shavik, and the topic that was given to us today is how will I, as a process owner, how will I make sure that agile values are implemented and imbibed in my project? So, before getting into the topic, let's talk about a scenario. Suppose you have a Scrum team, you have got a PO in your team, your product backlog is all set, you're working in 2 week sprint, all the Scrum ceremonies are in place. Well, congratulations, you are an agile team. But on a second thought, are you really an agile team? It depends, right? So a common challenge within the team is that while they have implemented various pieces of the agile, they never truly get to experience all the benefits of the process. So this is the key difference between doing agile and being agile. Now, coming to as a process owner, as a Scrum Master, how I will make sure that my team is, imbibing the agile values. Well, to do that, I'll always look for few traits and behaviors within my team, which will help me understand whether my team is operating in the spirit of agile or not. So there are a few questions which I always keep on asking myself. I'll see whether my team is in touch with customers and how responsive are they to their needs. The key to become a true agile team is to involve stakeholders at all stages of development process. I'll also look whether my team is having team defined work plans as opposed to the orders coming down from the project manager or a PO. Then whether my team is highly collaborative and self-organizing, whether they are continually delivering output that is usable. Does the team regularly produce value to the stakeholders? Whether they have the ability to focus on essential work while eliminating the unnecessary work. Can they remain calm under stress and make sound judgment? Are they working on the feedbacks? How about retrospectives, right? So are they working on those feedbacks? Are they working on the retroaction items? Does the team strive to improve their process? Yeah, so I look for all these points. I'll also look for whether the team is empowered enough to take or make any decisions on their own. Are they self-managed or not? So I'll ponder over all these sort of questions to gauge the agile maturity level of the team. If I get a positive answer for most of these questions, I can say, yeah, agile is being implemented, and the agile values are imbibed in my team to some extent. Yeah, it may not be perfect. There can be a scope of improvement, but at least by going through these questions or by going through this exercise, it will help me to plan my next course of action, be it an agile workshop, a session on a mindset change. It may not be perfect. There can be a scope of improvement, but at least by going through these questions or by going through this exercise, it will help me to plan my next course of action, be it an agile workshop, a session on a mindset change, some agile games, or a simple coffee chat, or hackathons, or any team building activities, right? So this exercise of going through this set of questions will help me focus on the areas where team still need to improve on agile mindset. Before I close my video, I like to highlight three main aspects. First, doing agile can be achieved overnight, but being agile is a journey. Second, doing agile is easy, but being agile is difficult, and that is something which I'm telling based on my own experience. And last but not the least, doing agile satisfies the management, while being agile defines the agile culture. uh, Agile is defined to deliver result and not the processes. So use the questions that I shared earlier to determine if you are actually achieving those results, so you know all the effort that you're putting in is worth it. Thanks for listening. Cheers.
Hi, my name is Amit. For today's question, as a process owner, how do we ensure that the agile values are being applied and they are imbibed within the team members? I believe that can be done by inspection and adaptation. So we just inspect various different activities at different intervals in our journey throughout the sprint and around the sprint events and activities, and adapt our whole experience based on that. Let's go over first one. So interact individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So it's very easy. Like we should be suggesting to team members and we should be coaching them. Like they should be talking more, and rather than not send too many emails around within the team members at least. We should try and see there are no silos, and by silos I mean the physical location as well as the knowledge point of view as well. They should try and co-locate as close as possible with around the team members. Because of the pandemic, it's going to be difficult, but yeah, they can try and have brief calls, quick calls, rather than send mails around. From the knowledge point of view, if we can try and increase the cross functionality within team members, it would really help to decrease the silos to a minimum. Next is working software over comprehensive documentation. For that, we should firstly try and minimize documentation as much as we can. In case the documents are very, very much needed, try and see that the time which spent on creating the document can be minimized. So we keep the information in the document minimum and crisp and clear. That should be good enough. On the working software part, we should try and start building the software as early as possible in the sprint itself, so that once we are on the journey to build the software, we can seek the feedback from the customer once we are closer to our goal for that sprint. So these are a few parameters that we can inspect early on. Next and third value is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So for this one, we can try and keep the customer as the central piece and then build the software around it. It would certainly help, and it would help in to bring in a perspective how customers are using it, why they are trying to use a specific feature that they have requested for. So we can bring in the simplicity and build a solution for that. We can try and talk to the customer directly and see how they would be using the software. So customer collaboration becomes very important in this case. And see how they would be using the software. So customer collaboration becomes very important in this case. Last agile value is like responding to a change instead of following a plan. For this one, it's going to be difficult not to have a plan. Rather than that, let's have a plan, but only for 1, 2, or maybe 3 sprints at max. With that, changing the plan becomes very easy. And by not following a plan, what I think is we should not have fixed deadlines. Rather have changing plan and seek customer feedback, so that responding to the changing needs is very easy. One thing that we can do for that one is like instead of having fixed price projects, we can have time and material kind of projects, wherein customer, rather than paying for the fixed deliverables, they start and pay for the team who is working for the software, and then they can give a feedback like some feature needs to be built in this way and not that way. That would really help to bring in the expected outcome or result. Lastly, all of this would only can also be inspected by tracking our progress day in and day out, and then discussing around how we are going and what we are doing. So yeah, that inspection is key here, and adaptation is going to be very important as well. How we go towards this journey. Yeah.
Hi all, this is Kirti here, and today's question is, how do we imbibe agile values in our scrum teams as process owners? So for that, in my organization or in my past experience, what I've started with is the mindset change. So we came up with a very unique idea of poster making competition based on agile values or scrum principles. Scrum values. So the team came up with unique and innovative ways of expressing their ideas, and the best team got some award just for the fun sake, and the entire posters were published across the organization. So whenever people saw that, it had a different impact on their mindset. So one way was that. The second way was of one-to-one coaching, where we used to talk more on what do they expect out of agile, what are the real time problems they are facing, and then solving it and discussing, maybe not solutions as such, but discussing what can be done about it. So these were the two things which were done primarily for mindset change. The second thing was making teams more and more self-organized, and so that the creativity comes out of them, because when they own something, obviously the results reach to some other level. Whether it is success or failure, the teams owns it. So the self-organizing thing. The third thing was creating an environment where trust can prevail. So for an example, in our case, one of the developers, the Scrum team member, deleted the entire some critical files from a server, and instead of penalizing or finger pointing or things, it was very well managed at the senior level, and that guy actually built a code just to stop the unwanted deletion. So whenever somebody tries to delete something, his script works and it actually asks, are you sure you want to delete this file or not? So when you don't finger point things, or you don't make people suffer for their small mistakes, they come out with something more creative, more a better process, which eventually helps so many people in the long run. So this is the third thing. And the fourth thing, which I personally believe, is the Scrum has a very good method, very good framework laid out for handling all kind of inspect and adapt. And if we follow only the Scrum events to the T, with actual their values coming out of those events, the daily Scrum, the retrospectives, the sprint review, that's more than enough. And definitely.
Hello everyone. So today's question is, as a process owner, how will you make sure that all the agile values are followed? So basically there are 4 agile values. First is interaction and individual over processes and methods. Second is working software over comprehensive documentation. Third is customer satisfaction over contract negotiation, and the fourth one is frequent responding to a change over following a plan. So basically all these 4 values we can check through our product. Like when our team is developing the software or the product, we can make sure that if there is any requirement change in between, then we can take that requirement into our projects, and we can make sure that the value of the agile is followed. And first one, individual and interaction, it's like we have to build trust between all the people working in our project, our team, a Scrum team, or in our project. So basically while creating a valuable product, we have to make sure there are less documentation, and the focus is on giving a working software to the customer, so that customer needs are satisfied. And if there are any further feedbacks from the customer, they will provide to the team, and the team will take that feedback into consideration and provide the updated software to the customer. Thank you.
Topic is, as a process owner, how will you make sure that the team, the agile principle and values are implemented within the team? So a common challenges we could find in a development team is, while implementing various pieces of agile methodology, they never truly get over a hump to experience all the benefit of the process, and there is no one size fits all definition to tell you how exactly you should implement the agile values and principle within the team. Agile Manifesto will simply give you the guideline, but it leaves room open for interpretation, because the development team is free to choose the component of the methodology in their own culture. You might have seen that there are teams that are operating with the backlog, and they are doing all the sprint ceremonies, but at the end of the day they are following the non-agile release schedule set by their their executive on high. And also, if you have seen that you are having a product backlog, you are following 2 week sprint, you are sticking or just later over this scrum board, means not that you are working in an agile team. An agile team implemented all the agile principle, but not all the team implemented in a same way. So there are a few characteristics you should experience while operating in spirit of agile and delivering the result that the agile team supposed to deliver. Like, you are in continuous touch with your stakeholder and responsive to their need. You have team defined milestones and work plan. Your team is highly collaborative. You're delivering you're continuously delivering the output which is actually in usable condition. Few questions you can ask to identify that the agile values and principle are implemented within the team. So first question is, does the team really producing value for the stakeholder or the customer? Creating value for the customer and for the business is a very important and principle of agile methodology. For example, as a tester, you should understand the user experience. It is not that you just test the functionality defined in the user task, but it is, you need to set the bar.
Good evening, friends. This is Manoj. So today's topic is, as a process owner, how I will make sure the agile values have been taken care in my project and we are getting benefit on this, right? So first of all, we should know what is process owner. So for me, as per my experience, I could say process owner is an individual who is accountable for the performance of the process what he or she is trying to implement, and with this what are the benefits we are getting on. So I would like to put an example over here. Like, when I joined in the team, so this is already a agile project where the team is working from long time, but when I joined and I observed that there are few challenges are there. For example, in stand-up call, the team was supposed to complete the call within 15 minutes, but always it is taking more than 15 minutes. So what is the root cause of this, and what should be the process I will implement over here so that everyone will get benefit and the call should not take more than 15 minutes. So I implemented a logic over here, and we decided before joining the call, the team, each individual will update their progress or the work what they did yesterday and what is the plan for today, and is there any challenges to discuss today, right? So those things each individual used to update in the conference phase before coming to the call. So the team will see this in a high level, and we will concentrate for the challenging points alone and not all the Jira issues or subtasks whatever they are working on. So in this way we reduced lots of time, and the team got more time to spend on, and definitely they got some more benefit on this. So it's not that much important, but yes, I was thinking to put an example on this here. So after implementing this, we got benefits from one of the team, and the same was implemented with other scrum master as well, right? So that's what, as a process owner, when you are implementing a process, and as an individual or the scrum master who is accountable for the process what he is implementing, he is the main person who is responsible for the performance of the process which is implemented, right? And similarly, when we are following the process as a team, when they are self-organized and cross-functional teams, and they are very comfortable for the process what we are introducing, and it is acceptable by each individual, definitely as a team we will get benefit on this, and definitely we will get productive outputs on this. Yeah, so this is how I observe. So I was just putting to explain on this. And when we see that the team are performing well, definitely all the metrics. So normally I don't want to put all the metrics over here, but yes, we have a tool, POF tool, where we used to observe like commitment reliability metrics, and the velocity what we released delivered, and yeah, is there any backlog health, or similarly few like burn down chart, burn up chart. Those things are very important for a team to understand how the team is performing, right? So yes, so this is what my understanding I am just trying to explain. Thank you.